how do you kind of look back at this season first with what you guys were able to accomplish, get it into the tourney, winning a tournament game, in Coach Dan Brought's final season? How do you kind of recap the season from a year ago?
Um, Man, we made history. We made history. And it was a lot of fun. Um, I think sometimes as coaches, you forget to enjoy it and have fun. You try to remind your players of that all the time, but as coaches, you need to do it too. And I remember me and Coach Danbrough just discussing it, and we would just say to each other even before the games, "Let's have some fun today." The element of that run that we had, where our mindset was, where our poise was unbelievable as a staff, and it was fun to be a part of. And what our guys accomplished was huge. When you get to the later stages of the season, I think what starts to come about in the team is the connection. Not only just fighting when you're on the court, but making sure you're fighting for the next man next to you. And our guys really embodied that. Their connection was strong. They were playing their best basketball, and they just played confident. They enjoyed the moment, and they just hunted every possession, every game. That was their mindset. That was their attitude. And um, you know, it's it's a blessing to be able to hold that trophy at the end of that A10 tournament. And then it was awesome to get Coach Darrenbaugh his first win in March Madness to cap off his wonderful career.
And that's a career that obviously you played a big part of going back many years ago as Drew Joyce the third, the new head basketball coach at Duquesne, joins us. I know you could probably spend a lot of time talking about Coach Dan Brough and what he's meant to your life, but to kind of know that you guys were able to send him out that way, and now you get to take over a program that he was the head coach of, just personally, to have that continuity and to continue to have this relationship and be side by side with him, how do you kind of reflect on that experience and what it's meant to you with how many years that relationship has spanned over?
Yeah, like you said, I've known Coach Danbrough since the age of 12. And that's how far we go back. Our relationship started when he didn't even have a head coaching position. He was just giving his time to the youth and having basketball clinics and basketball camps. And I got to see the passion that he had early on in those early stages of how he felt about basketball, his energy that he wanted to pour in as far as teaching the game. And years later, being on the sidelines with him, as I want to get his age correct, 65. But he embodied those same values and principles that I seen when I was 12 years old. It was like, man, this is amazing. This guy hasn't missed a beat. His attention to detail was just like it was when I played for him in high school. His energy, his intensity, because everyone knows Coach Danbrough, he's intense in practice and on the sidelines, but it's all with intent and purpose. And that never changed, that never wavered. And to believe that guy had been doing it for 40 years, to bring that work ethic, it was unbelievable to be a part of and see. And it taught me a whole lot um, about how you got to approach each and every day, with the mindset of that you're working towards being the best version of yourself, and don't take any moment for granted.
You are a disciple of his, so there's going to be a lot of similarities, but how do you kind of put your own creative spin on the program now as we kind of enter a new era of Duquesne basketball?
You know, after talking with him throughout the season, and even before, he's done a terrific job of giving me an opportunity to really learn this role from an assistant coaching standpoint, with giving me different experiences and opportunities, as well as my first head coach, Dennis Gates. It was a blessing to work for both of those guys, because they never stunted my growth. They allowed me to keep growing, and giving me different obstacles and challenges take on. And you know, what I take from him is, like I said, there'll be some similarities, but in our approach, because he did things the right way. But I'm also encouraged by him saying that I have to be Drew. I have to be who I am, and I have to do it my way. I can't be anyone else. So I'm going to be successful at being the best person that I can be, and what I believe in for not only our staff and our players, but our entire program.
Coach Drew Joyce III here with us, new head basketball coach at Duquesne. People that are familiar with your story know that you played high school basketball with LeBron James. That was a pretty good savvy move by you to get LeBron to break that story that you were going to be the new head honcho.
Yeah, I'm putting the pressure on people, man. Rothstein, Jeff Goodman, they don't get to sit back and relax and get all the breaking news. They gotta up their game a little bit. So uh, I went with a power move. I tried to
To say the
one up the
least.
initial source with an unquestioned source, right? As he commented on there. But you know, it was it was Bron being Bron, man. Um, I've known him since I've been 9 years old. We competed against each other. We competed together. We've been friends and brothers forever. And there's a sense of loyalty. There's a huge sense of support, and there's the value of trust and honesty that we have between each other. And I appreciate him for doing that. He didn't have to. He didn't have to extend his time or his platform, but he did. And regardless of if he did that or if he didn't, nothing would change. That's still going to be my guy. We're still going to, have the relationship that we both value.
And he's been supportive of you. He's been supportive of Coach Dan Brott, and that's been well documented in this last year of Duquesne basketball. But I'm curious, since you've known him for so many years, what do your players ask you? Because we all know LeBron is larger than life to your basketball players.
So you can never do a surprise around them, because every surprise they think LeBron is in the locker room or about to come
That's great.
out the stands, and he has his message, and you know and then I get the non-believers like, you can't FaceTime him, you can't text him right now. So our guys, they got a lot of jokes, but they appreciate the gestures that he does for this program. We're excited to be a part of his brand. We get to wear his logo on apparel. We get the custom made shoes, and sometimes we get a couple special deliveries as well. So it just goes a long way of who he is. He's invested in the young guys and the youth. He's invested in basketball. And he's invested in our program, and he wants to see us do well. He wants us to have success.
Talking to Drew Joyce III, the new coach of Duquesne basketball, a lot of us are trying to figure out what Bronny can be as a basketball player. Obviously, I'm sure you've seen him play with your relationship with LeBron. Just what are your thoughts about what Bronny could develop to be as a basketball player?
I'm not certain I can comment on that. I don't know the rules and allegations behind that, but I'll comment on the young man that I know he's being raised to be. I know his mother and his father and the values and that they've instilled in him. So being that I know that he comes from that stock, I don't expect anything but him to be of high character, goal driven, and he's going to have success.
So let me ask it then to you this way, because there's all these rumors, right, that Bronny's going to hit the transfer portal, and then with your connection with LeBron, people are already speculating maybe Bronny goes to Duquesne. But if it's not just to Bronny, let's just say it's to a regular player, what is your recruiting pitch to have a player join your program and get coached by you?
So you want me to just to lay out all my details and secrets right on in front of everybody? No, I don't even think of it as a pitch. I'm not trying to be a salesman. When I speak to young men, I'm gonna be honest and transparent about my approach and what they're getting themselves into. And I'm going to let them know that, this experience won't be transactional, no matter the circumstances or the environment that, or the state of the game where we are right now. That's cool. I'm okay with guys getting paid. I'm for it. I think it's in the best interest of the sport, and these guys are well deserving of it. But at the end of the day, I value relationships. Um, there's something that can last longer than the paycheck. I wouldn't be here without them. I know what has gotten me to success, and it's the people that have supported me, that have poured knowledge and wisdom into me, and time, energy, and effort, and the ones that I can pick up the phone and call, and who will listen or help me in time of need. I've had that throughout my career as a coach, as a player. I learned that from my dad as a young man, who was my first coach. So, it's bigger than basketball for me. It's bigger than the X's and O's. I feel like it's my purpose to be able to help a young man and make an impact. So, that's just true to who I am. I'm not going to change or waver from that. I think that is ultimately what's of value here, and that is just what you're going to get from me, and that is I'll stand on that.
It seems like it's really the true definition of a family, is that a family culture is what you're trying to build. And we've seen it right in your relationships with your dad and, his background as a coach, and then also with your long relationship with Coach Dan Brott. It's very unique to have a relationship with someone since you're 12 to continue all the way through this span, through sports and through basketball. So it seems like you're truly building through your walk of life a family kind of culture there, and continuing that at Duquesne.
Yeah, I don't know anything too much different. And I've been in my share of locker rooms as a player and a coach now, and some of them have been successful, and others haven't. And I try to weigh the pros and cons each year on what were the differences, and what were some of the similarities. And I think the connection is something that always stands out. The connection amongst the staff and the connection amongst the players that equate to the success. And that doesn't mean that it's always going to be a championship at the end of the day, but it just means that a group embarked on a journey. They decided to work together. They poured all of their time and energy and effort into the process, and they're willing to live with the results. And they realize that they did it together. And like I said, it doesn't always equate to holding the trophy at the end, but I think there's a lot to be said about going through a process and a journey with someone who was locked in with you.